Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another Friday feeling at vidIQ, or in some cases, the Saturday stretch, because I would have to do this live stream at 12 p.m. GMT for everybody to be on Friday, but that would mean doing it at 4 a.m. local time. Anyway, hello to everybody. Let's do shout-outs to kick us off. My name is, of course, Rob here at vidIQ. And let me know where you are in the world and what time it is. And you may notice at the top here, we have another person as we're joined by our special guest today, River Karaba, otherwise known as the analytics guy. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So what we're going to be doing here is the general Hangout, all the usual chat and sophistication, which is very lacking here on a casual Friday. But at the same time, we're joined by River because I want to ask him a couple of questions about his channel and let him contribute to our casual chat. So how are you feeling today, River?
Excellent. Excellent. It's a lovely day in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, so that's a similar time zone to me. We're on the Pacific Standard Time over on the west coast of the United States and Canada. And hello to everybody now joining, including the Doberman guy, who I know has been posting some comments on the Analytics Guy's channel. That's a familiar face. Chazinator, The Wilders, Tech With Me, HD Gamer and Ethan and Dustin and Anna's Adventure Toy Reviews. All of you are moderators. As always, I give you a big thumbs up for all the contribution you will be giving to us in this live stream as you pick out the all the good messages and potentially the bad messages. So thank you very much as always. Kids versus Dads Gaming, another regular. We have many regulars here in the live streams. And how are you feeling about this live stream, River? Have you ever been on a live stream yourself, and are you nervous?
No nerves. I got ice running through the veins right now, so we're good to go. Been on live streams before, so excited to be here.
I also want to point out that on the live stream, you have like a moody spotlight and then a completely black background, which is making it really strange on the live stream. But that's all right. I mean, it's better than my green background at the moment. So yeah, the Doberman here has been saying that he's been watching your videos, very interesting and nicely done. So you already have a fan.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
We should mention that the Analytics Guy, if you do a search for that on YouTube, that should bring up his channel. And let's try and get him some more subscribers. He's currently on 83 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him to 100 subscribers by the end of this live stream. And we'll talk a little bit more about his channel later on in this live stream. But yeah, I want to know, everyone here, if you had a YouTube question for let's say a YouTube expert. Let's pretend I'm not a YouTube expert. What question would you ask a YouTube expert? Let me know in the comments as we start this live stream. And of course, before I forget to everybody, if you are joining the live stream, please do make sure you share this live stream to all of the people who may find this interesting and relevant, and maybe they're not familiar with vidIQ. If this is your first time on a vidIQ live stream, we are, of course, the tool that helps YouTubers get more views in less time, whether you have the free version or the paid version. There's plenty of tools. There's links in the descriptions to everything we do. And let's put that question to River. Like, do you use vidIQ, and what are your favorite tools?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely use vidIQ with every upload, actually. The Keyword Explorer tool to get relevant and adjacent keywords is key. I think for the small creators, the extension that you have right in the browser is really good reminder. Kind of like writing your goals down. That's a really good way to see your goals just right out there in the open. So between those two, every single upload using vidIQ.
And you've just answered a question that came in from Game Bro Pros, who said the best way to target keywords and how to use the right keywords is, of course, one of the tools is vidIQ to do the keyword research. And I'm getting a lot more questions coming in now, such as from JJR Survivalist says, what would you recommend for a channel that has plateaued? Some quick fire questions and answers here.
Yeah, that's great. Plateauing is not uncommon. I think that's the first thing. So don't feel like it's something unique to you. Having a testing strategy, try some new things, try putting some different content together, try mixing it up in terms of maybe what you have been doing. Go back in your analytics and see what particular content absolutely killed it. Did very, very well. What about that content? Look at the retention rate so you can see where people are reviewing and rewatching, and whatever was going on in those moments. try to focus in on that and see if you can break out of that plateau.
Boom, thorough answer there. The next question would be why, if you use the same tags as popular videos, your video doesn't show up?
Great question. So the really good thing to know is YouTube knows exactly what your video is about. So what I refer to as loading tags, which is, if I create out a video and I'm vlogging and I know the Casey Neistats of the world vlog, and so I put Casey Neistat as a tag, YouTube's actually going to dock you for that. That's not relevant to that particular content, and you should not be using those tags in your video. So having adjacent content or similar content to another in terms of your titles and descriptions and what it's actually about, it's able to be a suggested video of another creator, but don't try to rip someone off just by random tags that are not associated with your video.
So those are just the snippets of the answers you can get from the analytics guy. And if you want to know a lot more, then head over to his channel. I think that's the best plug we can give you, but we're going to go into more detail specifically about River and his channel later on. So let me know, everybody here on the live stream, what are you doing this weekend? Are you doing YouTube videos, or is it your time for rest? Me, for example, I've had a busy week doing a lot of live streams, as you may have noticed on vidIQ, and me and my girlfriend are considering going snowshoeing for the first time in Vancouver, and that might be an interesting proposition, considering we can't ski at all and we don't like the cold, so why are we doing it? Who knows? River, what are you up to this weekend?
I'm actually going to be headed to the Oregon coast this weekend. Get a little bit of outdoor activity for myself and my wife. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What's the weather like there down in Portland? Because obviously in Vancouver it's sort of wet, and Seattle it's wetter still. Is it the same there in Portland?
I would say here in the winter months it's very similar. Rains at least once a day at some point, but then we've had some good sunshine the last couple of days too.
Yeah, we have as well. It's rained all through January, and then it's just started to pick up a little bit in the last couple of days. Game Bros Pro asks, what is snowshoeing? Think of it as wearing tennis rackets on your feet and then walking on the snow is the best way I think I could describe it.
Very good description, actually.
What else do we have here? The Doberman guy is editing in advance. I have adopted a way of having 2 or 3 videos always ready to upload. So that's a good idea, scheduling video uploads there. What else have we got here? Ankman Raw is working on the tips you gave me from the channel audit. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the other live streams I do, we do channel audits on a Tuesday. And I think I remember telling Ank that your thumbnails were quite raw, and you looked like you were taking just frames from your thumbnails and it needed a bit of better branding. Like, do you have anything else to maybe add to branding, River, from your experiences?
Yeah, if you have particular types of videos, some people have found really good success with whether it's just the way the color you use in your thumbnails to categorize different types of videos. So you have your tried and true subscribers that keep coming back to your videos. Maybe you cover a wide variety. They know that when they see this type of branding for that video, that's the video that they particularly want to pay attention to, in addition to your others.
Yeah, I think general tips would be include maybe your channel avatar or some distinct branding on every video, and following a similar color scheme so that when viewers are just looking on like a browser or recommended homepage or down the suggested video column, see if I get my hands right, down that side, they can, if you have a particular branding, you can instantly tell when you're seeing similar videos from the same channel. What else do we have here? Luke Outdoors, Owen improving on my channel. Why do extremely talented musicians have so few subscribers? That's an interesting question from Chad Garber. Have you got any comments for that?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to my full-time gigs that we'll talk about a little later, but their talent is musicianship, being a musician, right? Maybe not SEO strategy on YouTube, right? So having channels like vidIQ or tools like vidIQ that you can go to and utilize that to help you out is going to play a big role in helping increase the distribution of a lot of those videos.
And I always think with music channels, if it's just strictly music, viewers don't, when viewers go to YouTube, they may go to listen to really popular music videos from artists. But for smaller musicians, you may listen to one song and you're done, and then you move on, and there's no story or value to the channel in like a progressive way from moving from one video to the next. That's how I have had musicians with YouTube channels ask me before, how can I build an audience? And an audience doesn't always go to YouTube for music over a longer period of time.
It almost like it sounds like you're using the words album and maybe, dare I say, playlist. Similar?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I think certainly musicians need to develop playlists. That's a fantastic and obvious point, and I don't know why I didn't think of that myself. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about what we might be doing at the weekend. Now we're going to be moving on to some success stories. I have quite the opposite stuff. Well, I do have like a failure and a success story. If anybody's watching my live stream on Tuesday, there was a pause for about 5 minutes when you heard the knocking over of a glass and water flopping everywhere and destroying my mouse. But fortunately, after putting it in a bowl of rice overnight, it works again. It's like the miracle of rice can fix technology. And so that was my failure stroke success story. But another success story is I've been experimenting with doing interviews on live streams, and I was finally able to do it yesterday with Chaz and Pair of Dice Paradise, and I'm doing it again today, and technically it's all working perfectly. So that's my big success story for the week. So let me know in the chat what your success story is on YouTube. And River, any success stories for you on YouTube this week?
For me, not so much, but someone that I've been advising and working with has a tremendous success story. I recently just published a video in relation to Google Trends data. That's a data source that, in my opinion, every creator should be paying attention to understand the, let's say, seasonality of different topics throughout the internet, YouTube included. A channel called Leg Life had a tremendous success. They're kind of a Disney vloggers kind of thing, and they go on Disney cruises a lot. And we tipped them off with some using Google Trends data, and definitely worth a watch. Huge success for views and getting subscribers on their channel just by harnessing one piece of information, data, which is a lot of what we do on the analytics guy.
Yeah, cool. So some stories coming in now. Kids versus Dads Gaming. A massive failure on the live stream the other day as the audio was out by 2 seconds. I can imagine that was an absolute nightmare for people watching the live stream. Was it because you live streamed for the first time, Kids versus Dad Gaming? If so, success for just trying it and learning from any mistakes you might have had. Anna's Adventure Toy Reviews. You need 42 hours now to get to the magic number. So what that's... just over 1%, presuming you need to get to the 4,000 hours of watch time, which big thumbs up. I seem to remember you said you were about 170 hours away last week. Is that right? So, and what are we on, the 16th of February? So the race is really on to hit that target. And we've got our first super chat here from BTC Kyle. Can you do a live channel audit for me? Thanks, guys. Okay, we don't usually do channel audits, but if we have time at the end of this live stream, maybe River and myself can have a quick look at your channel and maybe give you some feedback. But as I say, we usually do channel live streams on a Tuesday. What else do we have here? Achieving better video and audio quality for Luke Outdoors. Good for you. Was that getting a new camera or getting a microphone? I always think that the first thing you should upgrade when you're looking for audio or visual improvement is audio. I think you can get away with a slightly dodgy camera, but if the audio is terrible, that turns people off. What would you say to that, River?
Yeah, I agree. I think anything north of potato quality on the video is you're going to be okay. They're looking more at the edits typically, and the audio is huge. If it sounds like you're in a wind tunnel, sometimes that's not so great. Yeah,
you sound beautifully clear, as I hope I do. What microphone are you using?
I'm using the studio mic right now, condenser mic, the not sponsored NT USB by Rode. I really enjoy this mic. Pretty good, crisp, limits a lot of the background noise and just captures exactly what you want.
Is that about $150 that one, or?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
150 US. If you go to some of the big retailers or things like that, I definitely always advocate for supporting the local camera shops as much as possible. But yeah, it's a decently priced and obviously really good quality.
Yeah, so just to remind folks again, River said their studio microphone condenser one. Those tend to be the microphones, as you can see, these big bulky ones, especially when you're talking through a PC or a Mac, and it can give you super clear quality. I've had this. It's called a Samsung, so that's not Samsung, the Korean phone manufacturer. It's Samsung, S-O-N. And I think this was about £60, and I've had it for 10 years, and it still works relatively fine. So you can upgrade your audio for relatively cheap. If you wanted something for using on a DSLR camera as well, I recommend these Rode microphones, which can also plug into your laptop. These are brilliant as well. 530 reviews. I need 362 subs to get to my sub goal. I've upgraded my audio with a new mixer and mic, so that's going a step further. My success is finally not making a video with blank screens and some periods, says Brokeman PCs. And Chazinator asks, what's the best program for recording gameplay on a laptop? Are you a gamer at all, River? Have you got any?
You know, I'm not quite a gamer, but I know there are some really good capture cards that allow you to do those. I recently have been experimenting with my live setup. So how I actually shoot my videos are actually live, but they're just not streaming.
Yeah.
So it's just pulls out all the stops for me. I think I use the HD60S, which I forget the exact brand right off the top of my head, which, you know, that's my fault. Apologies. Yeah. But look that one up. It's a really good one that I've had some pretty good experience with.
But this is an actual piece of hardware, not just some software supplement. You're using something
Yep,
dedicated.
It comes with software right with it. So it's pretty easy to use.
Cool. Safety Professional needs 300 subscribers, presumably to get to 1,000. What else do we have here?
A lot of people right on that edge. That's good to hear.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of people in the last month since the changes came from YouTube. This new determination to really drive towards the goals, and I think some people have been really hitting it out of the park in an attempt to get to 1,000 subscribers. The Doberman suggests the Elgato HD60S.
That's the one
for the recorder. Yeah, and that's the one. And that's what GamePro brothers use for recording gameplay. So it sounds as if you're using the staple recorder there. What else do we have here? Can you tell us how to put text on screen using OBS? That's a question from Head Cleaver. So often in these Friday chats, we kind of go off topic, and I'm happy to do that in this live stream. This is just, I think, adding a scene. And when you add a scene on OBS, you can add a scene which is simply a bit of text, and I could change the one above here which says Friday Feeling to anything I want, but it's a separate scene. So I have a backdrop image, which is the red bar, the blue bar, and the vidIQ and the icons, but also the Friday Feeling is a text which I could change whenever I want, because I use this for interviews as well. Do you have any general tips on live streaming yet, River, or is that not a road you've gone down yet? Because you said you record live, but you don't actually live stream.
Yeah, we manage a couple different channels. For the analytics guy, we record live. A big barrier for me is with the full-time gig, in which most small creators, you know, they're not just full-time creators. So we have to be as efficient and as effective as possible. So yeah, record live. I use OBS as well for different green screens. Sometimes if I want to share, a lot of times with my channel, it's showing someone how to look at and do something. So it was really important that I maintained on screen as well as showing step-by-step what to do. So yeah, OBS is a big one. I use Adobe Premiere to do all my final edits, which I have really good success with, and it's really efficient.
So I have a question for you here. I currently use Camtasia 9, which I would say is a rung or two below Adobe Premiere. As somebody using one of the high-end video editors, what was your video editing story? Did you start with like Movie Maker, something very basic, and move through the steps? I'm terrified of making the next leap because I'm worried about falling 5 steps behind in order to go 10 steps forward 3 or 4 months down the line.
I can't begin to empathize with you more than I do in this moment. For my wife and I's vlogging channels, how we started on YouTube, I made every single video daily for over a year in iMovie on my like MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
It does exactly what the trick is. I think there is some truth in, people that are like, just do it. You don't need gear. To a degree, once you hit that ceiling, right, of creatively, I want to go further. I know I can go further, so I need tools. That's the point to upgrade, right? And think about that. But you can do almost everything in a really basic editor. Why I use Adobe is because I'm at that point where I'm ready to try a lot more creative things.
Yeah.
I definitely maintained a work stream where I was so terrified to transition, and I was trying to learn. And, obviously YouTube is such a great place to learn all of the tricks to learn these things, and just experiment. Try, once you get new software, just try to do things and make yourself uncomfortable a little bit.
That's a good way of looking at it. Making yourself uncomfortable, sort of live on the edge of your comfort zone, that sort of attitude. At some point, I'm going to switch. I just like the learning curve of Camtasia. It makes it so easy to do animations and things, but then there's pitfalls as well. Wonderful message here from Orly C. I've doubled my video views. The new monetization policy lit a fire under this mama's booty. That's a very delicate way of putting it on a live stream. Thank you. Only 30,000 minutes away and can stay monetized. Help me out, please. YouTube is a passion and outlet for me. So fantastic work there, Ollie. What, 30,000 minutes would be... It's about 9% away, so fantastic there. Leg Life says, still rocking iMovie. 2018 goal for me is to start using Premiere to help us take our videos to the next level. So yeah, there we are. And Sido YT is almost at 1,600 subscribers. Could someone please help me out? Well, you've just got a shout out there. I'm sure you'll have some new subscribers. And Steve Plays, only 5 more subs needed to 50. Can we help Steve here get to 50 subs by the end of this live stream? That would be fantastic. Okay, we're going to move on to now a bit of a discussion on last week's news stories and topics. And first of all, we're going to look at some of the things I've been posting in the vidIQ community, which you, I'm sure, all vote on, and I really do appreciate that. So on screen now, you should be seeing some of the polls I've been doing, and one of the questions that I asked this week was, just got to click a few buttons and get the windows in the right places. This is where the live stream can sometimes grind to a halt as I wait for the scroll bar to work or something. We'll start with this one right at the top here. So Daryl Eves did a video about playback speed and watch time. That being, let's say you have a 10-minute video and you play it at double speed. So you've watched a 10-minute video in 5 minutes. How does that equate in your real-time analytics, your watch time? So I'll put that question first to River, and then we'll see what the answers are in the live chat. Love to know your thoughts.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, right? Because we've seen a lot of these faster play settings coming from, audiobooks and music and things like that. And it's natural that YouTube follows suit. I am a bit of a pessimist, I guess you could say. I look at a curious view for some of these things. Theoretically, if someone watches in a faster speed, it should equate to the number of minutes that video is in actual time. But a lot of times there are tracking systems in place that are tracking it in real time. So if you see your stats coming in at a lower rate, that could definitely be the case. Daryl's definitely out on the edge on this one. He's a great resource in YouTube.
Yeah. So the results for this on 610 votes was 40% feel you would still get the full 10 minutes, and 54% said you would get 5 minutes from a 10-minute video. So I watched Daryl Eves' video and I thought, is that true? So I decided to test it, and I uploaded an 18-minute video, and I just watched it myself at double speed, It was private, so I could make sure that nobody else could watch it. And the results were that you do get 50% of the actual watch time. So the watch time was 9 minutes on an 18-minute video, and the audience retention was at 50%, which seemed really strange that it would skew the results of your analytics in such a way. And I personally feel as if YouTube maybe need to fix that, or at least reflect that in the analytics a little more clearly, because there's probably quite a small percentage of people who are watching 1.5 speed or double speed. I certainly do that on some videos, but not all. So what would you think to that, River?
No, that's exactly what I meant by my comment. Theoretically, you'd think that, well, it was 10 minutes of original content, the full thing, so I'm going to get credit for that. But just as to, I would expect to see the real time, at what speed, what amount of time did you actually spend? When we see session times and things like that on YouTube, it's the exact same scenario. So that's exactly what I would predict as well.
Do you know if watching a video in double speed affects how the ads are displayed?
So if you have set ad breaks in your video, at the time in which you reach that ad break, it will play the ads. So if in actual time you have a 20-minute video, and at 10 minutes you want to have an ad break, even though you're watching at double speed, at 5 minutes it would still show that ad break, and it would not speed up the ads. That's
yes, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah. So Anchorman's just saying here that you've never thought about watching videos at 1.5 speed, 2 speed. This is something I highly recommend. If a video doesn't have much visual content to it, so you don't have to focus on like how the video is put together, such as this live stream, it could certainly be replayed at double speed. And as long as you're really concentrating on what people are saying, you can still follow the flow. And I've found it's a real time saver. So yeah, definitely give it a go. Next question I had this week was, which YouTube analytic do you look at most and why? For me, because I just can't help looking at this is the most addictive tool that we have on vidIQ, is a real-time stats bar that sits at the top of the screen so you can see how many people are watching. For example, I now know there's about maybe we've got 300 people who have watched videos in the last hour on YouTube, and I absolutely love that. Do you have any personal favorites, River?
Now that you say that, I think undeniably I have to say that it's also that stats bar, because every time I log in, I can see it. So, and my eyes are immediately drawn to it. In terms of my favorite, I really love to look at retention rate. I think retention rate is a grossly undervalued statistic in the analytics platform. Learn what people are enjoying about your content in terms of when you see that rewatch or the skip aheads as you see the uptick, or where do you see the drop off, right? Some people like to have intros and things in their videos, right? And I've seen countless creators that when that intro starts, people are either skipping ahead or you just see the retention rate drop off because they don't want to sit through that, which is just really interesting to learn firsthand. This is how people feel about your content.
530 reviews asked, just going back to our ads question, how do you schedule ad breaks?
So is this a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, actually in your Creator Studio, when you're uploading a video, there's a monetization tab in there. If you click on that monetization tab, assuming that you've qualified for all of the monetization on your channel, you can go ahead. If you have a video that's over 10 minutes, you can put ad breaks in a video. What I would caution is be careful. Obviously not everyone is a big fan of multiple ad breaks. So where you have typically much like a TV show, right, where the pinnacle moment we're about to unveil, if you put an ad break in there, you're likely to retain a number of people to watch through that ad break.
So that kind of ties into audience retention, doesn't it? Where you can really be strategic about your content and slip in adverts just at the right moment to maximize everything.
My favorite tip, this is my favorite tip to give, and they say, how do I increase my retention rate since you love it so much? When you see those dips, particularly the dips that are 20% or more, those are big dips. Yeah. How do I keep people? And what I typically say is use the cards feature. If right before that dip you put a card that is a relevant piece of content or playlist that to that piece of content. So if I clicked in to watch a vidIQ video about how to use it, and I have another vidIQ video in the queue, put a card in right there. So that card will come out obviously right approximately the point where those people are considering clicking out, and then you increase that session time and that watch time on your own channel.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent advice there about keeping, I like to call it like your own YouTube mini ecosystem, where you want to try and keep the audience member within your set of videos, whether it be through playlists that autoplay onto the next video, or cards to encourage them to jump onto other videos. Just keeping a viewer watching your content, adding to session watch time is always like the snowball that's rolling up the hill. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the momentum builds, which is excellent advice. So we got some comments now. Anchorman saying that the stat bar is his favorite. Anna Adventures asked, do you advise putting channel names in your tags?
Absolutely. I think there's a time and place where you'd want to invest in your channel names more than other times. I think it depends on the video that you're putting out. But if you see in your analytics that people are searching you by name quite a bit, definitely put your channel name in your tags.
Yeah, in all of them. And not only your channel tag, but if you have a unique slogan or like value proposition like ours is more views, less time, we include that in our tags as well, just to have a continuity and help YouTube. It's all about helping YouTube connect any dots that it can to more of your content. Lots of positive comments, by the way, River, from your idea about cards, like film 30 reviews. Great idea. It's going to start using cards. Leg Life, using cards to increase retention is such a good idea. And that's why we have River on this show today, to offer us unique and excellent advice like that. And that's where we're going to move now, actually. We're going to find out a little bit more about River and his channel, which, as we've said briefly, it's the Analytics Guy. But it's over to you, River. Sell us your channel, and why should people subscribe to it?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
The pitch is here.
Okay. So, my name is River Karaba. I run a channel called The Analytics Guy. On that channel, we are 100% focused on giving creators, creative entrepreneurs, small businesses tips to grow your influence and just really harness the data and all of the tools that are out there. A little bit about me. I work at a very large international ad agency, a media agency. So I've spent my entire professional career building and working for some of the largest brands in the world, doing media planning and buying, which, spoiler alert, a lot of the tools that we use are the same tools that are available to creators. So on the Analytics Guide, that is a big part of sharing some of those tools that some of the biggest brands in the world are using. I've been responsible for helping them select and critique influencers on the brand side. So when it comes to helping creators get brand deals, that's a big part of what we're doing. We just started the Analytics Guy very recently. It's sort of an experiment. A lot of my fellow creator friends, after me giving advice, I'm YouTube certified in brand strategy and channel growth. So being able to give good advice, they said, listen, you have to start a channel where you do this, because as Rob was talking about, the Daryl Eves and the Tim Schmoyer, Roberto Blakes of the world that have tremendous experience and a lot to provide. But there are fewer people who have agency experience that are able to provide the brands side of this equation. YouTube speaks to brands differently than they do to creators, and being able to provide the insider knowledge, if you will, is great. So yeah, we're just starting, as you're saying, we're at 80 some subscribers, which is a point of contention, right? Well, why should I listen to you? Because you only have 80 subscribers. And the short answer is you don't have to, right? Mm-hmm. But over time, those subscribers are going to grow because people are going to see the advice that we're giving over there, and it's going to make a meaningful difference. Actually, in the chat, the Leg Life was the one I was speaking about earlier. Some tremendous success that we've seen on their channel. Really proud of those guys. So that's kind of the elevator pitch for the Analytics Guy. But just want to help people. I don't, my advantage, if I have one, is that I work at the agency. So I don't foresee that ever going away. So probably won't ever reach full-time creator status, but that, like I said, that's the value proposition that we provide to our subscribers.
So talking about brand and agencies, I think Sido YT just asked the question, as a channel of like 1,500 subscribers, where might be the best places to potentially get brand deals?
So clarification question, you said where, like what brands?
The question just went off the live chat, but I think it was like a question along the lines of, if I'm a small channel, what are the best ways to get brand deals or sponsorship?
100%. I advise every single creator, doesn't matter if you have 1 subscriber or 1 million, you should be creating a media kit. A media kit is something we hear people talk about on YouTube a lot, but there are very specific metrics that you should be putting in a media kit to quote unquote speak that brand's language, right? Creatives, creators are really good at creating whatever they do. It doesn't matter if you're making candles or videos, right? You're a creator by trade. We are marketers by trade. So, the brands and what they pay attention to may not be the things that you intuitively think they want to know. So we've got some videos over on our channel that speak to exactly what you need to be putting in those media kits. Some videos on YouTube just stop at, you need a media kit, and don't teach you how or why or where to put these things. That's really important, because what a media kit is the next inherent question. And that is your package. What do you bring to the table as a creator? What's your story? What are you about? And then the metrics that prove to a brand that you're a valued partner. And how you will quantify, meaning how do we measure success for that brand, is so key. Influencer marketing is still so new to the digital landscape that there's not a lot of hey, how did that work? And then the response is, well, we put up the video, so it worked, right? Not really. Did it do the desired outcome? Being clear about what's the objective. That's what we do. We help you guys out with.
Awesome. So I think in summary, it's like, if you want professional companies to get in touch with you, irrespective of your size, you need to have a professional response, which is that media kit. So if you want more information, head over to River's channel. I think, is it the video about how to get a brand deal? Because I put a link on that video in this live stream description, so if anybody wants to head out there. So just going on a little bit more about the analytics guy, River's channel. Me being a YouTuber and working for vidIQ, there's even some things that I've learned I wasn't aware of. Like in recent weeks, you put a video out about people. One of the goals obviously is to hit 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time to be monetized. But then one of the next big stages is to have one of those big play buttons that you often see in big YouTubers' backgrounds, the silver play button or the gold play button. And you actually had a video released recently that says getting 100,000 subscribers doesn't actually guarantee you a play button, and that never occurred to me. And it's all about research. You simply went to the correct website and got that information, but you were able to tell us all, which is fascinating for me. And also a little bit of insider information that you found out that the subscription feeds, and I can't believe this is going to happen, but the subscription feeds could change on YouTube so that it shows highlights. And as we always know, for most people, we don't want to see highlights. We want to see the most recent uploads from the channels that I'm subscribed to. So just give us a bit of more insight on like why you're looking for this information, and like how you get it, and what you're hoping to achieve with these videos. Yeah,
great question. I think from the analytics side and the looking for ideas that come up, the creators like you guys have questions that I can't even possibly think of, because we all have different experiences. So when people leave in our comment section, hey, what about this? Or how do I do that? Those are tremendously awesome ideas. And, that sets us down the path of research, right? A lot of times YouTube and Google, who obviously owns YouTube, has a ton of information now on the internet, right? But not a really great way of identifying how to get to it. The Creator Academy is a really good resource that I would recommend for everyone. But sometimes it's just having the right people dig in the right places and just serve it up to you. not a lot of us have time for research. So when those things come up, or typically in the news cycles where those things, like the play button, right now, creators feel like they're under attack, right? With some of the changes happening in the partner program. And I empathize with every single person, people that work towards these goals of achieving monetization. And it's not even about monetization with a lot of us, right? The amount of money that you would have made up to the point where you hit that 1,000 subscribers, it might be a lot for someone, and that a lot could be $100 or whatever it is. Everybody's got a different story, but it's more about the achievement, right? The achievement of unlocking the monetization merit, if you will, or something like that, like a video game. But that's what we're doing. And so as creators, from their perspective, from our perspective, a new channel like the Analytics Guy, the bar just got set higher. And that's where we are really committed even more. It motivates us to provide as much little tidbit, small information as we possibly can, and these big concepts and videos that are really going to help creators. And a little thing like the highlight to most recent, we see some of the algorithm changes in Facebook and Instagram and all of that, where they're mixing up the order, right? And we've seen the outcry of just give me my stuff in order, and YouTube is testing that. And what we as creators need to know is to communicate to our communities and say, listen, educate your community that they may be missing some of your videos because of the order in which they're doing. That's so important. So even, like I said, a small little thing like that just took a little bit of research and provide that as a resource to the creator community makes a big difference in a lot of people's channels.
Absolutely. I'm just seeing a few comments in the chat that there's some malicious messages coming through. I just want to say a big thank you to the moderators, and I will certainly look at this at the end of a live stream, but right now there's nothing I can do about it here. Next question then, River, and this is probably going to be something that surprises a lot of you, or you've never heard of this term. YouTube certified. You are YouTube certified. So to somebody who's never heard of this term, what does that mean? What's the process? How does it work?
Yeah, so YouTube has a certification process. They have generally 4 areas of certification. I just happen to have them up right here. So channel growth, content ownership, asset monetization, and content strategy. I am certified in content strategy and channel growth. Those are the areas where I feel like I can make the most impact. Got plans to get certified in the other 2. It's actually a test. It's a very extensive test. It's one that I would not encourage anyone to take without studying. My brand strategy certification, I actually had to go to the YouTube office and be moderated while I took that test. So it's a very serious thing. Both individuals and companies can get YouTube certified. In terms of the merit, or what if you get certified, what do you get? You get a t-shirt? The answer is no. But these are the trusted advisors that YouTube has and bestows that certification on. Now with that, kind of like the old Spider-Man quote of like, with great power comes great responsibility, right? We are held to a different standard. If anybody who's not certified uploads a video and says, hey, YouTube's algorithm is this, that, and the other thing, and you should do this, and they're wrong, they're just wrong. If a certified expert puts out a video that misleads purposely anyone, that's a big deal in YouTube's eyes. They have these certified experts out there to help the community. And at the Analytics Guy, for me personally, that's the name of the game. I just want to help people. So the studying, the learning about all the ins and outs of YouTube, that is the certification process, is how you do it. How you can actually go about, you can apply for certification status. Me, that I have an agency background, they do typically let some agency folks in quite regularly, but that would not discourage you from applying. If you're very interested in that, if you're passionate about YouTube, it's something you can pursue. And you can go to the Creator Academy to try to find that page. They have a YouTube certified section where you can look at all of that information. Yeah.
So there's no barrier to entry in terms of how successful you are as a YouTube creator. Is there a cost associated with it?
There is no cost associated with it.
Okay, so this is funded by YouTube, which is excellent in itself. And then you as you explained it, you become almost like an ambassador for YouTube in the sense that people are trusting your content, especially when you put out videos.
Yep. It is a responsibility, just like the terms of service on YouTube that every
Yeah.
creator has to abide by. And if you violate those, you are subject to discipline or reprimand.
Yeah.
It's even more so with a creator that is YouTube certified. If you, it's your responsibility to know, right?
Yes.
That's what the
Yeah.
certification is. So all the questions, all the everything, that's excellent. It's my job then to know the answers, or at least get them for you.
And is this a lifetime certificate accreditation, or do you have to
Great
renew it?
question. It is an annual renewal
Right.
of your certification. As just look at the last year on YouTube, so much has changed. That's why it's important that our certified experts do get recertified annually
Yeah.
in every category that they are certified.
So it would sound like if you did want to take this into your own learning of YouTube, the Creator Academy would probably be the first place you'd want to go to understand from a video creator's perspective, but then from a much more deeper, as you say, brand strategy, analytics, then the YouTube certified might be the next step.
Yeah, I think that if you feel like you have a very good grasp on YouTube, and I will say this in full disclosure, I've been always very passionate about YouTube, so I will say that the certification process went fairly smooth for me because that's my professional gig too.
Yeah.
But it was very challenging for the channel growth or the brand strategy exams I had to take. I was sweating a little bit, and and I'm a professional at this, so not to slouch.
Indeed. Okay, so I have one more question for River. So people in the chat, if you have any questions for River following his answers, do start putting them in the chat now, as once River gives the answer to my question, then hopefully I should have some more follow-up ones. So there's always a big topic of argument conversation when YouTubers say that they are an authority on a particular topic and they don't have the YouTube influence to back that up. For example, as you say, you're a relatively new channel, 83 subscribers when we started this live stream. Hopefully it's more than that now, and around about 1,000 views. So new channel. So what gives you the authority to teach people? I guess the first answer is you YouTube certified, but can you extend on that? And this is something that we all get as YouTubers. Like, what makes you an authority on a particular topic?
Yeah, and this is where I want to speak directly to every single person watching this video, whether it's live or in replay. Your value is not judged or should not be assigned by an arbitrary subscription number. You have lived your life, you have lived your story, and there's no one better to tell your story than you. You are an expert in your story. So my expertise and the analytics guy has come from years of experience working with brands, working with influencers, and we want to share that with everyone. But an arbitrary number that is 80 some, or one day maybe it gets to 10 million, right? Who knows? But that value, at least in our opinion, will never give us any feel as though we're superior, or I would encourage others to not look at that. It's so easy to look at a subscriber number and go, oh, well, 100,000 other people subscribe to this channel, so it must be good, right? Look for the creators that are just brand new and starting. There's so much talent on YouTube. Or otherwise, and that subscriber number has absolutely nothing to do with it. Some of your favorite creators on YouTube started at 0, and just remember that, because we're brand new, so same thing, just starting, which is why the number is low. But over time, we'll get exposure just like you will, and then your channels like ours will all grow.
And I'm sure everybody in this live stream is just agreeing 100% with what you said there. And you've seen all of the fantastic answers River's giving on this live chat. And maybe we'll try and check your subscriber count at the end of this live stream. And hopefully if we've got some more subscribers. Tons of questions came in there. Kronos asked, because maybe we don't have a full answer to this, what did you actually need to get a silver play button?
So great question. So for all of the play buttons, there's minimum requirements. And then for each play button, there is subscriber milestones. So for the silver play button is the first one where you're actually getting a physical accolade, which is 100,000 subscribers. The gold play button is for 1 million subscribers. And then there's the Covenant Diamond play button, which is 10 million subscribers. The thing that you need to know is that you do have to quote unquote apply. You will be given a notification if you're eligible once you reach that milestone within your creator studio to say, hey, you know, claim it, send us the shipping info, stuff like that. But if you have copyright strikes, meaning, you know, you maybe have posted some material that's not yours, that doesn't meet the Creative Commons rules and regulations and things like that, or if you have a community strike against you, those are things that YouTube may make a decision to not award you a play button. Yeah. So that's important. And when Rob was talking about earlier how it's not guaranteed that you get a play button, it's with those types of considerations in mind.
And I think people need to understand that that's the same rules for monetization. Hitting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time is not an automatic switch on of monetization. YouTube will review it at the same time. So that's another reason why you don't want to be desperately working towards one goal and then immediately think, here I am, let's have the money rolling in. Another question was, but it's gone off for chat, so I'm trying to ad lib. It was along the lines of, how do I reinvent my channel and make it more subscribable?
Yeah. You know, whenever it's not uncommon that people decide to change direction, they could have some life changes that help drive that. They could have just want to do something new. I would say communicate with your subscriber base as the channel changes. You encourage them to stick around, you know, but you may lose some. It's just a reality because they may be with too abrupt of a change, it doesn't change. But just like in the beginning, as you grew your channel, focusing on branding, focusing on that growth of the metadata, right? Start to shift that. I would say don't do it abruptly. I would say maybe a gradual change will ease your community into that. But like we like to do is just communicate with our community. I encourage you to do that and guide them through that process. It's advantageous sometimes for people to go, well, I've worked so hard and built my channel up to this level of subscribers, so I don't want to start over. 100%. I hear you. And I think that's the options that you're presented with. If I wanted to do something totally different, do I start anew on another channel, or do I start to transition my channel? And I think that's the key is the transition between your old content and the new.
If I'm not able to ask people's questions, just post them again, because when it disappears from the live chat, it's impossible to remember what they are. So sorry, folks, if I do miss them, just repeat the question. Simulation with Daniel asks, he's been growing, but it's consistent growth. How can I make it so that my growth is exponential?
Yeah, the things like the Google Trends tool that you can have, look for topics that are trending or seasonal, so you can lead up to. You can post a video right when that conversation's about to annually spike. Use your own analytics. What topics have been really successful for your audience? You know, what are the people who are also in your niche talking about and or not talking about? That's an even better opportunity, right? Yeah. To kind of put out some new fresh content that is shareable. The engagement is still really important. You know, getting people to subscribe, you know, informing them to click the notification bell, asking them to share videos or things like that. That's important. That organic growth. I think as a creator, as a marketer, I think the highest form of flattery, in my opinion, is when someone feels compelled to share your content. You know, if someone goes, holy cow, look how awesome this is, I want to tell all my friends about this thing that this creator built. To me, that's the highest form of flattery. And I think that if maybe not overtly, but that's the goal, right? To try to aim for that as you produce your content. I think that's the best way for exponential growth.
Answer this one as best you can. What is something that creators might not know goes on with brands behind the scenes? What's the process of creating ads, and how can we creators make that easier and better for brands?
Such an excellent question that Rob and I talked about before the stream started. I said, you know, there are things that get communicated to advertisers, to brands. You know, we've seen a lot of conversation news lately with some top leaders within the YouTube organization coming out and having conversations. I, as a person who sits on both sides of the fence, want to see more. Mostly because I know there's more.
Yeah.
I know there's more because they communicate with brands and advertisers differently, and they communicate, seemingly from my perspective, more information. Now, part of what I do on my channel is I give as much as I possibly can. I have videos made and ready, so when that information is public, we just hit push, and you guys know right now. There are information, though, that I get from my job that is labeled as privileged information, and I cannot legally share that yet. But what I can do, and all of us as a creator community can do, is continue to push for that transparency, continue to push for those conversations to be had on both sides. There's no doubt in my mind that from YouTube's perspective, I can't imagine what a task it is to try to manage the creator community and show and how important we are to them, but also manage the advertisers that help all of us earn money on YouTube in terms of the monetization share. So it's a tremendous responsibility from their perspective. I empathize, but as a creator, kind of the thing that I identify with the most, I want more from them, for sure.
So I think what River is saying there is I have information, and as soon as I can set it live, I will do, which is another reason to subscribe to his channel. I think Colin Bloodworth asked, what's the biggest mistake you see from... biggest and common mistake you see from small and medium-sized video creators?
I think the biggest mistake that people make is comparing themselves to other people. Yeah. Kind of what my comment earlier about how everybody's lived a different story and has a different story to tell. People are coming in at different skills and have different things that they want to focus on. And it's really easy to compare yourself to the massive creators that this platform has and get demoralized and go like, man, I'll never feel like I can produce a video like that. And don't try to not to do that, because, again, everyone starts with zero knowledge about these things. And if you apply your time and talents to learn those things, you too can improve. If I go back on my vlogging channel, for instance, and look at some of the early videos, I am mortified. I am mortified by some of the videos just because we've grown so much. And it's something that we're very proud of. And I think all of us as creators can go back, look at our early videos and get that. But that's the biggest mistake, is comparing yourself and fixating on those views and subscribers. Now, it sounds weird coming from the analytics guy, like, don't pay attention as much to your numbers, right? But no, definitely pay attention to your analytics, but don't obsess over, every single view, every single subscriber. Focus on the content, focus on telling your story, and the views and the subscribers will come. That sounds like a broken record here on YouTube, but it really is the truth. If you are focusing on the engagement, focusing on the community, respond to comments, have dialogue, and people feel valued, they'll come back, right? And that's how you grow.
And one last question here. What's an underrated way to organically grow a channel?
Organically is collaborations, just like this. Yeah. Not only finding people who you are in your niche, right? But analyzing what type of people in the demographic reports in your analytics are watching my content, and then communicating with other creators that maybe have those types of audiences as well. Now, I may not go and make a collaborative video with, Daryl Eves. However, creators are also interested in creative. So, if I could, I would call up somebody like Peter McKinnon or somebody and say, hey, how can we do something creatively together? Because if you're the art and I'm the science, we can provide a whole lot of value to creators, right? So think about things like that, how you can provide value through a collaboration, because then that's where you'll share some subscribers, back and forth views, etc.
Awesome. Well, we've been drilling River with questions here for the last 15 minutes, and I think he's answered them all flawlessly. So we're going to give a virtual round of applause for managing to get through that. And this is absolutely a reason why you should subscribe to his channel. And if somebody, my computer is ground to a halt in terms of my web browser, so if somebody could just check his channel now and see how many subscribers we've got, it would be wonderful. A bit of pressure here, but hopefully he has grown a significant amount. I'm maybe thinking 10-20% would be acceptable there. So yeah, just a few comments coming through. Thank you so much. I suppose the question to you, everyone, is would you like River on the live stream again, and we can ask him some more questions? We are planning a full-on interview where we can learn a lot more about his background and history, and look at his YouTube channel particularly. But there we go. Colin tells us now 95. So that's 12 new
Wow.
subscribers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so
By
much.
about 15%. So we do appreciate everyone subscribing, but obviously stay and this is not a sub for sub plea. This is stay on this channel because I'm sure there's some great content coming out. And I think you did one this morning. What was it about this morning? I'm trying to remember. Big changes on YouTube about the bad actors. I seem to remember I was watching this morning.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, thank you, Rob, for having me so much. I don't know if you're going to end the stream here, so no one tune out just yet, but vidIQ is such a powerful tool. There's several tools out there that you can use, but having a charismatic team like you have over at vidIQ who legitimately is concerned about helping creators grow and just like in their slogan, less time. Time is finite for us all, and designing tools that can help us at speed is so important.
Thank you very much. Very flattering of you to say so. And we are going to end the stream here because we're just hitting an hour. So a quick question to everyone here. I do this every week. What lunch should I go for? Should it be pizza this week or Starbucks? What would you say, River?
Oh, I would go with the pizza. Hands down.
Everybody says that, and it's really bad for my health. But I just have to follow what the audience tells me. So exactly. Yeah, I just want to say if you haven't already tickled that like button today, then please do. I always appreciate it. It really does help our channel. And I'll be back for channel reviews on Tuesday. And I'm sure we'll be seeing River again very soon in the future on vidIQ. Just once again, thank you very much for joining us. You've made this an awesome, casual, sort of quick Q&A on YouTube. And yeah, we love it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So we're going to end the stream there with everybody saying, HD Gamer says, I'm going to be different and say Starbucks. That's what I'm going for. Thank you very much, everyone. And we'll see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your video making day and have a great weekend.